All right, guys, so I am going to be putting some shapes up. Oh, it's that way, up there. Okay, and so I'm going to be composing shapes. I'm going to do 2 examples where I put 2 shapes together, maybe 2 examples where I put 3 shapes together, and 1 example where I put 4 shapes together. And so I have this big, fun box of pattern blocks that I'm going to be using. When you guys do it, you're just going to be dragging shapes on your iPad, but let's go ahead and get started. So I'm just going to take this guy and maybe I'll do this one. So let's look. I took a hexagon because this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides, and a rectangle that has 4. And now I put them together. So let's count how many sides are along the outside. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is no longer on the outside though, so I can't count that one. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8. So I took a 6-sided shape and a 4-sided shape, and now I have an 8-sided shape. So if this is 8-sided, I want you guys to look through your foldable and see what kind of shape this is, or maybe you just remember, but shout it out. This is an octagon. So now I've made an irregular octagon. Cool. So that's one example of 2 shapes being put together to compose a new one. So now I think I'm going to take this quadrilateral because it has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. And I'm going to put this triangle here. So now I want to count. I have 1 side here because now this is a slightly different. And if it helps, we can always draw, trace an outline or imagine tracing the outside lines. So if I do that, let me see, do it on this paper. For example, if I trace this, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can only trace the outside. So let's see what we have there now. And see, I didn't do it perfectly, but there we go. So let's look. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 sides there now when we combine these 2 shapes together. So this is our new shape, okay? And if I combine those, I get a 7-sided shape, which means that this shape is a heptagon. Very good. That's a 7-sided shape. It is a heptagon. And if you didn't remember that, that's okay. Go back and look in your foldable or your notes and you can use that. So we just used some of those guys. Now let's try 3 shapes all together. And I think I'm going to take 3 of these that are here and do, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. So let's count. We're going to count all the sides around the edge. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I think that was it, right? So I started here, so that was 10. And so now I have what kind of shape when these are all put together? What's that? That's a decagon. So now we have a decagon when we combine those 3 shapes together. I think I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into the 4-sided, or the new shape composed out of 4 figures. And I'm just going to add this one on right here. Okay. And so let's count what we have now. I'm going to start here. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, and I think that those actually are lined up. So those made one new side. So I would say that this is all the same side, and that is 11-sided. And if it's 11-sided, what was that one called? That was the big word. That was a hendecagon, okay? So hexagons have 11 sides. We just made an 11-sided shape out of 4 smaller shapes. Very cool. So I don't want to take up too much of your time showing you examples. I want you guys to go and explore. So yours don't have to look like the ones I just showed you. You can use the pattern blocks that are provided in on the activity slide, and you guys are going to get to make your own patterns, or you make your own shapes out of pattern blocks, making new shapes using 2 and then using 3 and then using 4 shapes, okay? All right, guys. See you later. Have a good day.